Welcome back, you filthy exiles. Alright, so this is the third build that I've been working on. So there'll be a build guide for the skeleton build that I put up the other night, and I've made it a little bit more powerful since. Now, this one I haven't tried on Cyrus A8, but I'm going to get it there. I'm still min-maxing it, but I've got it up to about 1.8 mil DPS, as you'll see in a couple of minutes. Alright, so what are we using here? Well, we're using Splitting Steel. It's one of the, I guess, reworked or new skills for this league. Basically, it pulls these sword things up around you, and then as you use the skill, you'll see that it expends the steel shards, and then you reset them. When you reset them, it does what's called some form of reflect damage, and basically does a shitload of damage to the enemies around you. So basically, as you're running through a map, you're going to run around, shoot these out like shotgun shells, reset, get all your shards back, and then rinse and repeat. It's pretty much how it works. Now, as far as this build goes, it's a little interesting because it's not actually a melee build, and that's one thing you've got to remember. So where you might want to take, you know, these melee crit nodes, and realistically you're going to be maxing out crit and physical damage, taking disemboweling or anything actually won't affect the ability at all, because it's not classified as a melee skill, as we can see here. It's a projectile skill, which is really interesting because it uses swords. Now, I'll put this tree up in the POB. I'm not going to go into crazy detail right now on this one, but basically you're just going to be looking for a few jewels with increased sword damage, attack speed, crit multi mainly is what you're going to be targeting here. So we're going all crit multi nodes. We're going to max out our armor as far as we can. This build will actually use, when I'm done with it in about 4 more levels, we'll use adamant, which is, I've never used that on any other build, but it will use it on this build because the life pool is a little hard to get to where we want it to get to because I'm out of life nodes to allocate. Now, gearing wise, oh, and I should probably add, in this one we're actually going to take, from the Ascendancy side, we're actually going to take the full Fortitude node here. We're not going to take any of these worthy foe nodes or taunts or anything like that. And we're going to take first strike, last to fall, because we get that life regeneration from the adrenaline build up as we basically pump our way through the map. Obviously Master of Metal, because Master of Metal is just ridiculous. And that's pretty much it for the Ascendancy. Now, this pretty proficiently does T16 without any issues whatsoever. I haven't really worried about setting up nodes here, but I probably should, and we will take the Soul of Lunaris node here, because we can't be stunned anyway, I'm pretty sure, because yeah, I don't think we can be stunned. Anyway, Master of Metal, not Master of Metal, Soul of Lunaris, and also we'll take the Soul of Tukahama, because it's pretty much the best node out of the tree to take, in my opinion. Anyway, gearing wise, this build, by the way, is not cheap in any way, shape or form, and it is not a league starter, and I would not recommend it. It's going to be a build that you play once you get your league starter over the line and build some currency. Anyway, going to need a 6-length Uriel's Fostering. Reason being is this little bastard here, which we in Australia call a drop bear, which makes this build a very Australian build. It's actually going to buff you up as you run through. So this chest piece, it gives you projectile attack skills have 55% increased crit chance. You get 20% to increase or inflict bleed on hit while you have a bestial minion. In this case, we do a little koala bro here. And then it's going to give us 14 to 24 physical damage. Now this actually is a pretty good roll while you have the bestial minion, which is really good. 100 health. Now, because we're taking the Iron Reflexes node, this is actually going to make this 1,852 armor, which is dope. Crown of the Inward Eye, because it's cheap. Now, if you get the Splitting Steel, deals 40% increase. That's going to make this a 2x helm, but this is going to push up your life, your mana, and your, well, you're not using energy shield, but give you another 1,000 armor. Now, the amulet, the rings, this ring in particular I crafted, mainly on the ring you're going to want life gained on hit by your attacks, and then pretty much maxing out resistances and health, and you want to use, in this case I'm using Elder an elder steel ring. This one, once I craft the second ring, will be another elder steel ring with similar stats. The amulet, you're going to want to go crit multi, crit chance. In this case, I'm buffing up my intelligence with this one. This is not the perfect amulet for this, but it's not bad either. Boots, this is not min-max these boots, but you're going to want to go for health or resistances, 30% increased movement speed. Gloves, use grip gloves because it gives you projectile attack damage, and we're shooting projectiles here. As usual, you're going to want to go Stygian Vise. Again, not a min-max Stygian Vise, but not a bad one either. Could be way better though, and that's mainly because we want to put a Hypnotic Eye in that can increase our crit multi and damage if you've killed recently, and life. Now swords, these are the big ticket items. You're definitely not going to get these swords anywhere near the first like 2-3 weeks of the league for any amount of time. Oh, Stephen Roosh subscribed to the channel by the looks. Thanks, dude. Now you're not going to get these swords anytime near the start of the league, or even in the first 2 weeks. They're going to be so damn expensive, it's just not going to be achievable. But at about week 3 or 4, which is where we're at week 4 now, I think, or week 5 actually, you're going to want a Paradoxica. Reason why is attacks with this weapon deal double damage. I got a really good roll on this one too. And also I can focus down, which is this focus skill here, and have a 15% increased chance to do double damage again, where I don't know if that stacks any further, but this is a pretty decent Paradoxica anyway. The other sword, which is pretty critical, and you'll see why, is the Savior. And this one drops on Cyrus. Now, this one cost me about 90 chaos. I'm not sure what they're worth 220 chaos again. And the Paradoxica is worth 60. And the chest piece is worth 300 and probably 335 you'd get it for. So, none of this gear is cheap. The helm, if you take Splitting Steel, will just take Splitting Steel in there. Bam. Yeah, 2.2 to 2.5 Exalt. So, I didn't test this one either. I think it was having issues searching for the, searching the market for this one. Yeah, there we go. API's not working. So yeah, not cheap swords, not a cheap build to start with. There's a lot of min-maxing I need to do in here yet, but fun as hell build. Got it up to about 1.8 mil DPS. It can go up way further than that. Hands down, can go up way further than that. And probably players better than me will figure that one out. But as it stands, pretty fun. So I'm going to load up a T16 map. We'll play a Leyline, fully corrupted T16. And we'll have a look at this bad boy in action. So you're pretty much going to want to hit your swords as soon as you're in the map. And we're just going to run around and kill everything. And what you'll notice is those little sword at the back here, that's the Legion, that's the Savior kicking it. As you ramp up, as you can see, it's pretty effortless. It's like running a T1 map, basically. Not going to do the side area. Just slows down. Point of example. Ooh, Chaos Orb. Frozen for once. Alright, so we'll go in here, drop our totem. There you go, T16 boss. And we're even running a portal in this build because we've got room, because it doesn't take much to gear. I should probably go into gem setups, pretty straightforward. you're going to want to run Splitting Steel, Slow Projectiles, Brutality, Vicious Projectiles, Impale, Maim. The melee physical damage for some reason doesn't work with this build. I think in its own name, melee physical damage, because it's not a melee skill, it's a projectile skill, so it doesn't work. So Maim is the alternative, does a shitload of buffing on this and works really well. I'm just running cast when damage taken, Molten Shell and Blood Rage setup, Vitality, Enduring Cry, of which I've mapped to, which I didn't do here. Always have that map to your run button or your walk button or your movement button. And then War Banner, and then I'm taking a Leap Slam setup with faster attacks, Hex Touch support, which does vulnerability, so when I land on enemies it procs vulnerability. And then I'm going to run Precision, Pride, and Enlighten level 3 gem to get our reservation down. And then in the second sword, I'm just running Ancestral Protector for the attack speed, because Warlord doesn't work on this build. Culling Strike, because it culls, and then Repoussé as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, if this helps you get started with a bit of a, I guess, melee / not melee sword build for the league, let me know in the description how you go. My POB will be in the description as well. Yeah, if this video is cool and you think this build might help you on your way to something different that you haven't played before, like and sub. Also check out my Patreon if you so feel like doing so. That'll be in the description as well. If you don't like this video, well, dislike it and put some hate on me. And until next time, bye.